All right, we are girded for war. Let's go take on the weather. For those of you who aren't regularly in Banff, this may not be super meaningful. For those of you who are, there's the big restroom, and there's the empty parking lot. I don't know that I've ever seen this many spots. Snow or no snow. This is madness! So, we have been driven off by the snow and the cold. But don't worry, I'll tell you that temperamental dragon story when we get back to Calgary. You can tell that the temperamental dragon's really upset right now because you can't even see any mountains. So my thought is that he must just be really lonely because all of the chipmunks are asleep and so is the one bear he gets along with. So what's a poor temperamental dragon to do but sit in his cave and go blue 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 until there's snow everywhere. I promised you a tale of the temperamental dragon and here I am nearly out of time. So it's cold weather out, don't want to be out in it, so I'll tell you a cold story about the temperamental dragon. As you heard, when all of his friends are hibernating for the winter, the temperamental dragon can get fairly sad. So he has to come up with ways to entertain himself over winter. There's only so often you can sit in your cave and warm it up and look at your hoard and maybe whoever happens to be hibernating with you. Then he had to go out and look around the world. And, well, I mean, there's no one to talk to. He could eat the occasional tree, but just sitting around munching on things, that's not so fun. So the temperamental dragon had to pick up some hobbies. And his favorite hobby of all is ice sculpting. He'd go out to some mountain, stream, or lake, and he'd breathe fire on his claws to heat them up, carve out the ice, pull out his block, and then carve it into whatever shape he wanted. Now, they weren't particularly good ice sculptures, certainly not at first, but he had months, even years, year after year, winter after winter, you go back to something, you get pretty decent at it. On the days when it didn't work the way he wanted, he would cry and cry and cry. And on the days when it worked absolutely beautifully and he got a perfect representation of one of his friends, he would often also cry and cry and cry. So, if you don't want snow, what you really want to hope for is middling results. But he enjoyed his ice sculpting. And the other thing, of course, that any good dragon will do in winter is what any good dragon will do when they're not enjoying anything at all. And that's go back into their cave, snuggle up on top of their hoard, and go to sleep for a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months. See you tomorrow, Marmoteers. I have to vlog around this baby. Oh my goodness.